Geronimo here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about follow-up. If you're like most people, you hate follow-up. And you know what? I probably hate follow-up a little bit myself, but we're going to talk about a couple of different ways that you can, number one, what's the proper way that you want to follow up with your prospects, and then what is a follow-up system that you can use to, not let people slip through the cracks, because not everybody's going to sign up on the spot. Some people you will have for the long haul that you may be dripping on over 6 months, 12 months, a year, a couple of years, and before you know it, they're going to end up joining your team. So why do we not like follow-up? Well, we don't like follow-up because most of the time we feel like they might say no. I mean, is that why we don't like following up? At least that's what it seems like. Okay, so we don't want to follow up because we're afraid of what the answer will be. All right, so here's what we want to do about it. So typically you meet with someone. Maybe you meet with them individually at a coffee shop, they come to a home party, they come to a group meeting, you send them a video and they watch your video online. The most important thing is that we never leave the meeting with a prospect without having something in place where we're going to circle back around with them. Because if we don't have something in place where we're going to circle back around with them, then it does feel kind of awkward and we're not quite sure exactly what to do, what do we say, when do we follow up, all of that kind of stuff. So, like, typically, let's say I meet with someone and we do a one-on-one, or they come to an event, or I send them a video. Well, actually, let's say the first two. They come to an event, or we meet together, or they're at a house party, something like that. So if they don't sign up on the spot, I will always place some product with them so that I have a reason to get back with them, right? A lot of times they're like, oh, I want to try the product. They may say, oh, I want to talk to my spouse. They may say, oh, I want to do a little more research. Who knows what they're going to say, right? So whatever the case may be, we're going to have some kind of time where we're going to be circling back together. Either I'm going to place my product. I'm going to say, hey, if I leave this with you, you promise to try it and give me your feedback on, on how you like it. They'll say yes, and so you'll kind of know, hey, here's a couple days worth, let me circle back around with you. Or if they want to talk to the spouse, great, let's get together. Let's talk tomorrow and we can set up a time that we can all meet. So you always want to have a time that you're going to circle back around with them. What happens sometimes, and why we get that kind of anxious, like, oh, I don't know what to say, I don't want to call them, I don't want to follow up with them because I don't know what's going to happen, right? What happens when we feel that way is typically we didn't do that last step. We didn't do the time where we kind of talk about it before we leave, before we part company, and we talk about how we're going to either reconnect on the phone, or you're going to get back with them so you can meet with their spouse, or you want to get their feedback on your product, or whatever the case may be. Now, there are several different types of prospects, right? Some prospects, you can tell they're gonna give you some kind of an answer, and they're gonna either yes, they're gonna join, or no, this isn't a good fit for me. And you know what? Honestly, either one of those two answers is wonderful. Okay, what we don't want is to never have a decision. So one of the things I want to share with you guys that I would say we've kind of viewed it like this for a long time, but some people don't, so I want to share it with you, is, when somebody says no, it's not no forever. It's just no for right now. Like, it's, you know what? Hit me up at a later time. Let's touch base later. Now, if they give you a point blank no, that is a different story. But if they just give you, hey, you know what? I don't know if this is a good fit for right now. Let's talk later on. Then there is a follow-up system that I learned recently that I think is so awesome, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So here's how it works. Do you guys all know Google? Hope you do. All right, so you need a Gmail account. What you want to do is you want to go open up your Gmail account. You want to get to the Google Docs section. Okay, now in Google Docs, they have Excel spreadsheets. They're called Sheets. That's the label, and it's in a green tab. Now, what's cool about the Sheets is accessible from anywhere, anytime, any place, which is awesome. So it doesn't matter if you have your computer and you feel like, oh, I have my follow-up system on there, or if you're out and about traveling the country, you can access the Sheets on Google from anywhere. If you have a phone, you can put the app on your phone and you can get to it. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have tab number one on our Google Sheets is going to be your master list. It's like anybody and everybody that you've ever met since first grade is going to be on that list, okay? So we have that list. Then we have a second tab that's like our active list, right? So it's people that we are following up with. It's people that, you know, you're working with those people, okay? And so the people that are your prospects in the hopper right now, they're on your active list. All right. So what we're going to have on there is we're going to obviously have, you know, the date that we want to follow up with them. You're going to have whatever your notes are and what your follow-up is going to be about, and so on and so forth. And what's cool about that is, let's say you hit somebody up that you talked to last week or the week before, they're on your active list, right? You can always go back and sort your Excel spreadsheet according to the date. So it's not like they're going to get lost in space somewhere, because the people that you need to talk to, they'll always be at the top, because it's just a mathematical thing, right? They're going to come up on the top if you do a sort based on your spreadsheet. So then the last part is you're going to have people that are going to go like in the cooker. Like they're for your forever prospects. Until they give you a hard no, they are a follow-up in the future. We have people, we've been working with our company for 4 years. We have people we have been following up with for years. Okay, so what does this follow-up process look like? It's not what you think it is. And it's funny because I was listening to something and it just kind of brought it to my memory that, you know, a lot of people have this thing in their head about follow-up, and it's scary and it's intimidating and there's anxiety wrapped around it. And, you know, I get all of that. We have to kind of separate things. That's not what follow-up is. Okay, we have our active prospects, and those we are, you know, constantly getting back in touch with. But like our long-term follow-up people, the people that you might drip on them for a while, it's just calling them and saying, hey, you know, what's going on? What are you doing? What are you working on nowadays? And you know what? They will ask you what is going on in your life. And it's always cool to just be like, hey, listen, if something happens, you know, something changes in my business and it, you know, it seems like something you might have an interest in, is it cool if I let you know about it? You know, that's kind of like an open door thing that you can just throw out there. So they give you permission to follow up. And then every time your company is in Success from Home, every time you rank advanced, every time you have somebody that hits the top of the company, every time anything of great significance happens, you can call them up and just say, hey. And when you say, hey, you're going to talk about them just like a regular conversation with friends, right? But in the process, they're going to ask you what's going on. And then obviously that's your opportunity to kind of let them know. And if they're in the same city as you, say, hey, you know what? We've had so many good things going on. There's been so many things that's happened since we talked. You know, are you at a spot in your life where you might be open? Let's get together again and let's talk some business. And so those are a couple of tips for follow-up, you know, a follow-up system, a way of thinking about follow-up, and just a follow-up that you can do, you know, immediately after meeting with somebody. It's always booking that next meeting, and then when they say yes and they sign up, you're gonna book that next meeting to get them launched and get them in and out of the gates properly. If we don't launch them, they might fall off, right? So launching them is essential to the growth. Now, one of the things that's helped us tremendously in growing our business is learning how to use social media as a tool to attract people to us. And if you're out there and you're building your business and you're hustling, right? You're striving, you got contacts and, you know, people that you're reaching out to. If you're like my buddy Jonathan, he's out there and he's always prospecting and meeting new people. We do lifestyle prospecting all the time. I am all for that. It's a staple. Like, you got to have that. But prospecting using social media where you attract people to you, it's kind of like you're fishing. You throw a fishing line out today, you throw a fishing line out tomorrow, you throw a fishing line out the next day, and you know, it doesn't take a lot of work, but when you got enough fishing lines out there in the water, before you know it, you got little fish that are nibbling on the bait that you threw out there. And what does that look like? It looks like, you know, they're inboxing you saying, hey, I want to know more about this, or they might give you a thumbs up on a post, or they might put a comment on something, and these are people that are reaching out to you because of what you threw out there on social media, something that you can do right here and right now, but you have prospects connecting with you. And let me tell you what, my friends, when you have people that are coming to you for what you have, the tables are totally turned. It's like a beautiful thing, right? Because you have so much posture, because they want to know. They want to know what you got. All you have to do is share it with them. So if that's something that you would like to implement in your business, like you would like to, you know, start learning, hey, how can I do that? How can I put it into practice in my business right here and right now? I have something that will help. Click on the link that's listed in the description, and it's my blueprint. It will give you the foundation for how to start doing some of these things in your business right here, right now, and start getting prospects coming your way. Start getting prospects chasing after you, right? All right, guys, so I hope it was helpful. Take care, be blessed, and I'll see y'all next time.
For more great training and to receive your free MP3 download on how to attract prospects using social media, the 4 essential elements to attracting prospects, visit summergeronimo.com.